What's up, y'all? Sorry to do the list video. I got caught up with things in the afternoon, and then just by the time it was just too late to do like a whole list, so I decided just to save that list for next week. But today, I did still want to do a video though. So today, I am reviewing the first Saw, which you actually watched on Tuesday. I'd only seen the first three, and I'm going to be honest. I love the first Saw. I love how it's a perfect mix of it is horror, but it also very much has like a mystery kind of crime aspect about it, especially when they're looking into the Jigsaw murders. And this is the one that started it all. Yeah, I'm in the camp. I can agree with people who say it should have been one movie, or for me, I think three. I would have been okay with the trilogy, and then that's it. I think they dragged it out, and I would say Cary Elwes is great in this movie. He's like, I love how you kind of get. They do also make a good job of showing you which is in the past and the present. You have detective. You have Detective David Tapp, played by Danny Glover, who's great in this movie. And then Tobin Bell in the end, where we get the reveal that we see actual John, where we get the reveal of John Kramer. I love that reveal, and the music kicks in. That reveal is unmatched. So I think the first Saw is. I can agree that very much. It can easily work as a one-off story. And the way it starts off, you have Adam and Dr. Lawrence Gordon just locked into this room, chained to a pipe, and then this is where we hear the voice of Jigsaw. Basically, he makes people to live. He makes you play these games, and this is where we get the reveal that he's killing. We get the reveal that he's killing people who deserve it, and we see David Tapp trying to look into the murders, and I think that's one of the things I really love is how much it isn't just like a normal horror movie. It does have that mystery, crime, very much aspect about it. And then there's a scene where his David Tapp's partner ends up getting killed, which is crazy. And then we get the reveal of of John Kramer in the end, which is iconic. I think this film is awesome. The first Saw is just so great. It's not I think, unfortunately, what it was, just looking what happens with the later ones, they got too caught up in the kills. And don't get me wrong, I love the kills, but the first Saw was very much not just about the kills. It was actually about looking into the story. And the actual chase for Jigsaw is actually, for me, my favorite part of the movie, is them, David Tapp, going into the investigation. And also, Lawrence Gordon telling his story, to Adam. I love that shit. I think the later ones kind of lost that. It just became about how elaborate can we make the kills, which that worked with Final Destination. I don't think it should have worked with Saw, and I just think they milked it. And Saw X was great. I will say Saw X was good, but a lot of the later ones, I'll be honest, I know what happens in them. I haven't seen all. I've seen some of the spin-off ones. Never saw I didn't see all the way the later Saw films, but I know what happens in them. So I think they should have stuck to the simplicity of the original of the first one, and I think that's why Saw X worked. It was a throwback to it. It just was the simplicity of it, them looking into, and also just let Tobin Bell just act, and I think that's what this one does. So overall, though, 9.5 out of 10 film. It's a great film, especially if you just watch it as a standalone. So figure why not review. I was gonna wait till tomorrow, but no, let's knock out Saw 1, and then tomorrow we can just do Saw 2. I don't really. That's the sequels are the ones I don't really remember. I've seen them. I've seen Saw 1, 2, and 3. I just don't really remember 2 and 3 that much. It's been a while since I've seen them. So as I watched them in a row when they were on a movie channel. I don't remember which one, but So 2 and 3 are the ones that are more of a blur to me. So we'll see how it holds up. But I very much, at least that first Saw is a classic. So, and yeah, that's all I can really say. Tomorrow I'm gonna, like I mentioned, Saw 2, and Wednesday we'll be doing uh I'll figure out what we'll do Wednesday. I don't know what we're doing Wednesday yet. Actually, no, I'm stupid. We're gonna review the original Mean Girls. The new one is taking way too fucking long to upload, so I'm not gonna like wait on it. So if it's up, I'll probably look later this week. If it's up, it's up. So I decide I'm just gonna review the original since the new one's out there and the discussion's out there. So why not just review the original? So we'll review the original Mean Girls on Wednesday. So, but anyway, let's get into Saw. One thing I love about the start of this movie is just, yeah, before you even get into like the dialogue, they give you like a shot of the room. You just see these guys, this fucked up looking bathroom. They're just, these guys are locked to a pipe, and they give you like a nice like shot of the room before like almost anything even happens, like before anyone even talks, because they want you to like, they did a good job of making you feel like you're in there. And Carrie Elways is always great, and he, and then so basically they each get different rules. Basically Adam's Tate tells him to live, while Gordon's basically orders him to kill Adam by 6, or his wife and daughter will be killed. So, and then while this is going on, they each of them try to cut the chain. I just love the tension building in this scene. I mean, this opening scene, how frantic they are trying to cut the chains and the pipe, but it's not working. And then it's like, because they don't like give you any context really. So Gordon realizes this is about the Jigsaw killings. So, and this is where we go back in time a little bit, where we see David Tapp and Steven Singh, who's his partner, find one of the victims about to be killed by one of Jigsaw's games. He ends up getting there too late, and we see the guy get killed, which is pretty brutal. And then that's actually one of the things I actually really love about this movie is the detective aspect about it when they're looking into the killings. Because I don't love mystery crime. I don't watch them like all the time, but I do mystery crime when it's really done well. Is a pretty well done genre. So they pretty much they look into David. They find there was only one survivor of Jigsaw's traps, and that's Amanda Young. They look into David Gordon because they think he may have done it. So they end up finding Jigsaw's warehouse, but Jigsaw manages to get away. Jigsaw manages to get away because Singh ends up triggering. David almost gets killed. Not David. David Tapp. Yeah, David Tapp. So I fucked up the name because I got confused. Gordon's the main character, which is Carrie Elway. So he's seen as a suspect. David ends up getting his throat. Basically, he gets nearly killed because by Jigsaw. Singh chases him, nearly has him, but then he ends up hitting a trap, which triggers a shotgun, which basically kills his head, blows his head off. Like, this movie's pretty gory, but that's the thing. Like, the first Saw wasn't just about the gore. Like, and here's the thing: I'm a gore guy. I love gore, but unfortunately, the problem with the later Saw movies is like even as someone who's not necessarily seen them, I've seen the kills from them. You could tell they were just made just so you can watch the kill compilation, which that's fine, but that's like what it feels like they cared more about the later Saw movies. It's just about the kill compilation and just. But then the negative of that is you don't have a story, and sometimes it's like you don't even need to watch the movies. There could be that aspect where it's like you don't need to watch the movies; you can just watch the kill compilation on YouTube. And I think they got too caught into that in the later ones because I actually think I love the storytelling in this first one. So this, and then we've Allison and who's Gordon's wife, and his daughter Diana are held captive. Um, Gordon is seen as a suspect for a while. Um, Allison calls Gordon and basically insists to not trust that because they basically want to get and then we get a reveal that Gordon had an affair. There's a lot of reveals in this movie. Um, but we actually find out who the real, not Jigsaw is, but the suspect for the film, and it's Zepp, who we see earlier. He's an orderly. Um, we get a fight between Allison manages to free herself, struggles with Zepp. David manages to save Allison and Diana, chases Zepp into um, Zepp manages to get killed, but he ends up freeing himself. Gordon does, and then this is where he shoots at him, which is pretty. Um, oh, never mind. He didn't shoot at him. He was supposed to, but um, he saws off his foot. This is where we get the iconic scene. He saws off his foot. Um, Adam survived the gunshot, beats Zepp to death. Um, so we actually get a reveal that Zepp is actually not the actual killer, and that he was another victim. And then when we actually see it's John Kramer, and this is where the music kicks in. This scene. And then the key is gone, so there's no key. Adam tries to shoot John, um, but John electrocutes him and basically leaves him to die. And this is where you have this music plays it out, and that reveal is so fucking good. It's such a classic reveal, and it's a good because you never heard of the name John Kramer throughout the film. So when you get the review, you think you found the killer. It's not him. He's actually a victim. And I'm gonna say it. The Saw theme is actually really underrated. I actually think it's a really dope horror theme. Like it yeah, that was such a good reveal. And Tobin Bell is so good in these movies. And I think even we'll see how I feel about it in the later ones, but even though we don't get a lot of Tobin Bell in this movie, you hear his voice, you don't see him until the end. So that reveal was awesome. So Saw is a great movie, and maybe it should have stayed a one-off or at least a trilogy, but who knows? Who knows? I might even end up enjoying these later Saw movies. Who fucking knows? I've never seen them, so I like the straight up Saw sequels. I've seen like Jigsaw, I've seen like Spirals, I've seen some of the spin-offs. But I never saw like the flat out the like later Saw. Like I've never seen like Saw 4 or Saw 5 or anything like that. So we'll see how they go. Anyway, 9.5 out of 10. I think this is a great film, solid detective movie. Probably Danny Danny Glover kills it in this movie. Actually, probably one of his more underrated performances. I know it's just because I think people forget he is in this movie. It's because you think him Lethal Weapon, even Predator 2, even Color Purple, like some of his other movies, you forget he is in this movie. And I actually think he's really good. And the kills are great. And Cary Elwes is great as Lawrence Gordon. Like even though he fucked up and made some bad decisions, you do want him to still get out of it, And that's what makes this film so good, and I think why it works too is simplicity of it. So, but anyway, we'll see where Saw 2 goes. I don't really remember it, but I'm hoping it's great. I don't know if it'll be as good as this one, but I'm hoping it's at least good. So, we talk about that tomorrow. Wednesday will be Mean Girls, the good one, and then Thursday I'll be doing The First Red, and then Friday I'll be doing Transporter 3. Screen Rant is gay videos. I found a Screen Rant article. They try to argue, and I'll admit, this is the first one I've done that's not about woke. There's nothing woke about the article. It's just really dumb opinion. They try to say that The Beekeeper is a John Wick ripoff when it's not. John Wick's not the only revenge movie. The revenge action movies that's a trope. It's a genre almost it's a subgenre within the action film genre. That's what I'd consider it. It's a revenge film. That's always been a trope in action, A guy or girl gets fucked over, so he wants to get revenge on the people that fucked them over. That's always been a thing. I mean, even a character like Punisher, so it's not a John Wick. I love John Wick, but so is John Wick a ripoff of Death Wish? Or Kill Bill? Kill Bill was 10 years before John Wick. Death Wish was in the 70s. The first one was anyway. So, are they... Okay, so I don't want to go too into that. I'll talk about that when I do that video. But yeah, so that... If Mean Girls is up by Sunday, I'll review it then. But if not, I'll figure something out. So... Anyway, guys, Saw 1's great. I definitely recommend it. Even if you don't want to watch the other ones, you can almost watch Saw as a one-off, especially the way it ends. So anyway, guys, call it here. If Mean Girls, the shitty new one, is not up by Sunday, I have a bad movie. I know what I'm gonna. I have one of those really bad movies I've been reviewing fucking Cruel Jaws and stuff. I have one it's called Samurai Cop. I've never seen it all the way through. I've seen people roast it in reactions. It is so bad. It is not good. It's just so bad. It's gonna be one of those. I think I'll have fun roasting it all the way through. So. That will probably be my video on Sunday if Mean Girls isn't up. Alright, y'all. Other than that, Saw 1's great. I'll talk to y'all later. Peace.